Like many of you, I have too many books. So, sometimes this is necessary. Hello and welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to start with going to, out of necessity, be a series of trying first chapters of books and determining if I want to keep them or unhaul them. I have, after my last reorganization and kind of update of all the shelves, I have found 20 books, so I'll probably do this in 4 sets of 5. Many of these are books that I've either had for a really long time, or they're just kind of random books that I picked up, like a Half Price Books book outlet that I don't really know anything about. And many of them I also have multiple books in the series if they're series, and so it's kind of just a time to kind of try these out. I know first chapter is not the best sample size here, but I'm at the point where I need to unhaul some things, and I feel better if I at least try the first chapter first. So, out of the 20, I have randomly selected 5 to get started with, which is our Dragon Champion by E.E. Knight. This is book 1 of the Age of Fire. Now, I know this author writes just a lot of, I think, dragon type of stuff. I think a lot of short stories and collections. So I think it's a part of a series. I think this is more than just a collection. Then we have The Moonsteel Crown by Stephen Dees. I think both of these, in fact, I think all of these they're just random things I got on Book Outlet because they sounded kind of interesting that I don't really remember anything about either. This one looks kind of cool with the cover. And then we have The Dragon's Legacy by Deborah A. Wolfe. I actually have, this is part of a series, which doesn't say what the series is called, but I have books 1 and 2 of this one that I know. And then we have a sci-fi one, which is Outpost by W. Michael Gear. This is the Donovan trilogy. I actually have the whole thing in these hardcovers as well. Really cool cover. And I know Michael Gear from writing some other stuff in the fantasy space, but don't know anything about this one otherwise. And The Obsidian Tower by Melissa Crusoe. Once again, has a pretty cool cover. So you can see some of these were just like, oh, that looks kind of cool. And I would get a lot of random books on Book Outlet, which I've stopped doing as much, and I've stopped buying random stuff. Half price books as well, because I don't have room for random stuff, and it takes me so long to get to books that I am actively interested in that I just need to focus on not doing this. So we're going to try out the first chapters and check back to see what the results are, and if it's something that I think I'm going to keep, or if it's something that I'm going to move to the unhaul pile. And we're going to start with Dragon Knight. Okay, so I always like to confirm we do have a map here, which always cool to see maps. And this one literally seems like it's going to have dragon POVs. So opens up with hatchling dragons like fighting each other, and one of them killing another one. And yeah, I'm sold on that one. This seems pretty cool. Dragon POVs, I'm super here for it. So that one's definitely going to go into the pile of ones to keep, because I'm intrigued to read that. So it's a good start, so far. Next up, we're going to do The Moonsteel Crown by Stephen Dees. So let's jump into that one. All right, so this one also does have a map. It's always good to see. And this starts with a POV of boy Seth, who's trying to sell what sound like some really terrible pastries and having no luck. And then his friend, who's a pickpocket, comes out, give him some money, and they're just kind of chatting about some things going on, and they're apparently kind of part of like a street gang. And so I was curious to see what this is about because I don't remember. So I was reading the blurb, and it starts with: the Emperor of Area has been murdered. The Empire is in crisis. A dead man walk the streets. But Mila Things and Seth couldn't care less. So it sounds like it's just like there's a lot of stuff going on, but they're kind of still doing their street thing. And so the whole point of this is for me to find books to unhaul, but this sounds really interesting. So I'm also going to be hanging on to that one because I'm really liking the sound of that. That sounds like a fun book. I like the tone and kind of the style so far. So who knows? It's never a bad thing if I'm interested after the first chapter. Obviously, it's just the whole point of this is to unhaul. But we'll see what happens with the rest up. So next up we have The Dragon's Legacy by Deborah Wolfe. So let's jump into this one. Guys, this has never happened before when filming one of these videos. We were 3 for 3 with this one. So, first of all, does this have a map? Okay, I was gonna say, I swear it had a map, but I couldn't find it, so I was thinking maybe I was misremembering. It does have a map. I used to think maps are a good sign, but then I did a lot of these where they had a map, and I'm still like, still no. So I read what I think is probably more like a prologue, but the chapters aren't numbered, so I didn't realize that. But this is beautifully written. It starts off, which I didn't look through, but it starts off with a list of characters, lands, phrases, all kinds of stuff. And then the first line is, "The wind was born of a shepherd girl playing her lonely fruit." And then, "Nimble fingers that had once danced across the smooth bone were lost to memory now. Sweet young breath was long gone to dust and wore in the tattered cloth of memory. But the sunlight was still the same, pouring across the zera, sweet and rich as mead poured from a pitcher of gold." It's really nice writing. It's not all that flowery, just for the record, but kind of starts there. Really nice writing, and this first chapter is this warrior who someone has died. And I'm not clear exactly who it is who died. I'm wondering if it is a dragon because of the fact that it's called Dragon's Legacy, which it could be. I don't know. But it's this older warrior, and she's lost someone, gone down the lonely road, and so she's an old warrior. She's like got nothing left to prove, and so she's taken this type of, it sounds like sort of like poison basically, that just has somebody, you live for 3 days and then you just kind of easily fall asleep and die. And so she's like done her time, and she's just, after her very hard life, lots of battle, she wants to now just die peacefully on her own terms. But as she's on her last day and just kind of is wandering, experiencing the world, she comes across this caravan that has been destroyed and people and animals killed, and finds a baby. And she is like 3 days away from the nearest city, but has like a day to live. And then there's like a line about, while she lives, there's hope. And so, really interesting, really interesting way to pull in. And this seems like this is like going to be super high fantasy, super epic style fantasy, which is different creatures, cultures, all kinds of stuff, which I am a sucker for. So that one's definitely also getting kept. And usually I try these and I have stronger reactions going the other way, but I'm feeling really good about these three so far. So let's try, like I said, maybe we'll go 5 for 5. The whole point of this was to try to find books to unhaul, but if I end up interested, that's still a positive. So let's try out Outpost, which is sci-fi. It's going to be pretty different, and we'll see how I feel about this one. This book opens up with people hunting an alien dinosaur thing while trying to kill it with explosive bullets. And it can also turn kind of like invisible if it gains enough energy, run at like insanely fast speeds, and give off radiation. And yeah, we're 4 for 4. That was freaking cool. I still have no idea what the cover of this is for. Yeah, it's on this planet called Donovan, which has like crazy creatures, and sold on that one too. No map for this one. It's sci-fi though. They don't often have maps as much as fantasy, but what a way to very specifically get me alien dinosaur creature thing. Like, who boy. I sold on that one too. So, will we make it 4 for 4, or will this finally be the one that I'm like, I don't know. So the Obsidian Tower by Melissa Caruso is next up. All right, so this one does also have a map, a big 2-page map. And so from what I got with this is our main character, Rix, is like he's descended from a line of the witch lords, and they all have magic that are really useful, but he's kind of the family embarrassment, and his magic does not really work that well, and so he's trying to just be really good about like politics, negotiating, and stuff like that in order to still be useful. And there's a mysterious black tower that nobody's supposed to go into, and that's kind of what we get here. So it didn't get a ton. And it seems kind of interesting from the premise wise, but with looking at the other 4, I felt really pulled into those 4. I didn't really immediately feel pulled into this one. So since I was trying to get some stuff unhauled, I think I am going to move this one over to the Unhaul pile, just because, especially in comparison to these other four, which just pulled me in right away, this one really didn't. It seems, and this could be completely wrong because I'm basing this on one chapter, but it seems almost like it's going to have kind of a fairy tale feel. Um, just with kind of some of the way it was set up, which I'm not typically a fan of. So it could be completely baseless. I don't know, but that's kind of where I'm going. So let me know if you read this one, if I'm completely off base, and if you think I'd like it. I am always open to being told, like, no, you should definitely try that one in these types of videos. But honestly, 4 out of the 5 of these really pulled me in. So they kind of backfired because I'm really curious to read all 4 of those other ones that I started, just because I'm very interested in them after the first chapters and didn't really know anything about them before. So kind of a win. It's a loss for space, but and for trying to now have even more books that I want to finish at some point. But I really liked what I got through with the first chapters of these ones. I usually have a lot less success when I'm doing the first chapter videos. So there it is, though. So let me know your thoughts on any of these, what you think on any of the things that I said too. If you've read these ones, if you have thoughts on these in general, definitely let me know. Make sure to give the video a like if you enjoyed it. Check the link in the description as always for the Wizardly Enclave Discord if you want to chat books, whether these books, other books, really anything at all. It's a lot of fun. We'd love to have you. And of course, if you enjoy my content, make sure to subscribe.